Hello, Chattanooga. Here's a quick look at today's top stories. First of all, Chattanooga police say a person was shot in the face on 4th Avenue this morning, but because the victim survived, there's a higher chance police will never find the suspect. A new analysis shows that most non-fatal shootings in Chattanooga stay unsolved. If someone dies in a shooting, there's a 62% chance that police will make an arrest, but if the victim lives, that number drops to just 33%. Police Chief Bobby Dodd says he hopes to improve those percentages. The police department is adding 40 more officers, including 20 new detectives. But even then, the ratio will be 1 officer for every 352 residents. And even with the extra manpower, the department will still have fewer officers per capita than it did 13 years ago. So far this year, there have been 81 shootings with 96 victims. At the same time last year, there were 57 shootings with 65 victims. If you're a smoker, you've undoubtedly noticed that the number of smoke-friendly restaurants, festivals, and workplaces in the Chattanooga area has been shrinking. Still, smokers have the great outdoors. Smoking is permitted in Chattanooga parks and public spaces. But for how long? The number of outdoor smoking bans in the U.S. has nearly doubled in the past 5 years, and more than 800 cities have banned smoking in parks. Now, tobacco-free Chattanooga says it would like to see all public parks smoke-free, and an ordinance presented to the city council. Councilman Chris Anderson says a public smoking ban is something he believes the city has been progressing toward, and the health department's tobacco prevention coordinator says she'd like to see smoke-free areas everywhere in the city. Right now, 20% of people in Hamilton County smoke. That's slightly below the state average and slightly above the national average. Researchers say there's not clear medical evidence that cigarette smoke outdoors can harm people walking by, but advocates say the bans help keep streets clean and parents happy. Demolition has begun on the old Red Bank Middle School. The building was built in 1938, but with a newly constructed school, it's no longer needed. Red Bank's mayor says town hall meetings will be held to decide how best to use the property. Perhaps it may even become a park. State Senator Stacey Campfield has introduced a Merry Christmas bill for Tennessee. He says the bill will assure students and teachers have a legal right to say Merry Christmas and to have a Christmas tree in their classroom. And while he's unaware of a specific case where Christmas has become an issue in Tennessee schools, the senator says he knows of people afraid of lawsuits, and passing the bill will provide them with reassurance. The executive director of the ACLU in Tennessee says, quote, Senator Campfield is envisioning a problem that does not exist. Legislators should not be filing legislation just to be wasting paper, and this seems to be one of the things that would be in that category. A House investigative panel says there's enough evidence against 10th Judicial District Attorney Steve Behb to continue a process to remove him from office. A Times Free Press series published last year detailed wide-ranging allegations of misconduct by Behb and people he supervised. Those included allegations of rampant financial misconduct in the Drug Task Force, including a chief who spent thousands of dollars of public money on dining, travel, and motels for himself and a female agent. Representative Tony Shipley says the action has been handled very deliberately because it's unique to try to remove a district attorney who has not been charged with a crime or lost his license. But he said there has been, quote, an overwhelming desire to restore the trust of the people of Tennessee. A Chattanooga lawyer has been suspended for 9 months for ethical misconduct. Attorney H. Owen Maddox was representing Theodore and Nancy Hayes in a civil action regarding a business dispute with the husband's partner. Trying to collect money owed to his client, Maddox sent letters to customers telling them to make payments to him and that he would deposit the money with the court. Instead, he reportedly gave the money to Theodore Hayes. A release said his actions violated rules of truthfulness and professional conduct. Finally, a Chattanooga company is expanding and adding 53 new jobs in the area. Plastic cup maker WNA Chattanooga plans to invest $22 million in a new production line. The company says Chattanooga beat out several other locations competing for the expansion. Turning to weather, today will be mostly cloudy with a high near 81 degrees. Also, there's a chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m. The low tonight will be around 64. I'm Harrison Keeley. For more on these stories and updates throughout the day, Follow us on Facebook and visit timesfreepress.com.